Hello and welcome to this video and to one that I'm not entirely sure how it's going to go. It's been a little while now since we've been to Comic-Con, a good week or so. I've had to put off filming these clips because Eloise got a cold. I don't know whether it was from Comic-Con or the other stuff we were doing that weekend. She gave said cold to me, and this is the clearest I'm going to be in the time to be able to get this video up for you, so excuse my slightly nasal voice. But yes, we went to Comic-Con. We took our child, Eloise. She, at the time of going, is 8 months. But obviously if you're watching after the date it comes out, she won't be 8 months. Comic-Con is one of those things that obviously culturally I've heard of it, but I never had a huge amount of draw to go to it. But my husband Pete, he got some free tickets, so this is all gifted, I guess, #gifted, because Comic-Con joined up with EGX, I think it's called, which is a gaming show. So the reason we were going is because Pete was invited to see whether Endpoint, his company, would like to have a stand at future EGX events, which is now part of Comic-Con. Does that all make sense? I hope I explained that well, but that's why we were there. And although he was working, me and Eloise just went for the ride because we could have got a ticket, and I thought, well, why not? I'm off, I'm on maternity leave, she'll be fine with it, let's go and experience what Comic-Con is about. So I wanted to see how they catered for babies, mainly, because obviously that was going to be what it was, but I'm not sure how well I've done with filming things, so I will insert the Comic-Con stuff now, and then I'll come back to you after all of that and talk through my thoughts.
Got the industry passes. Eloise is wearing an industry pass as well. I'm not sure she needed one.
Pete's in a meeting. We needed to use the changing station. Finding a changing table was difficult, but I found this room, which is a family room with microwaves and warmers and a sink and a fridge and all of that, which probably wouldn't be able to find it again, but I have found it now, so it was quite helpful. Incredibly warm, so bear that in mind.
So this is where you come for royal autographs. I don't know who any of these people are. I'm not sure if I should. Do you know any of them?
there you've seen whatever I got from Comic-Con and what Pete got, so if he does do a video, it might be that we have the same clips. My thoughts on Comic-Con is that it's just a glorified shop. I don't know why, but I thought there was going to be more to it than just stands of people selling stuff. Obviously I knew there was going to be a lot of that, but I thought there would be other stuff. To put it into like context, I guess, I was watching some videos from D23, which is the fan expo event similar to Comic-Con, I guess, for Disney, last week while I was feeling a bit poorly. And that has all sorts of like, it had exhibitions on cars that had been in Disney films. It had like props from things and all of that kind of stuff. And I know Comic-Con is different because it's not one brand, but I thought there might be a little exhibition of, I don't know, anime drawings, or a certain artist that does them has a little area to showcase some of the work there, or this, that and the other. Obviously I knew like the signings and stuff were a big deal, but that was just hidden at the back of a hall. Fun story though. I waved at Hodor. Didn't realise it was Hodor. I was just in a quiet spot, which happened to be where the signings were, trying to feed Eloise. A man waved at me, so I waved back. And then realised later on that it was Hodor from Game of Thrones. But yeah, so the signings didn't seem like that big a deal. I suppose if I'd actually understood some of the references, it might have been bigger. Like there was a lot of people from Baldur's Gate 3, I think it was. And there were like stages and panels and stuff, but there was nowhere to really see what was going to be on them. Myself and Eloise, we wandered off on our own for a little bit while Pete had his meeting. But there was nothing really for us to see or do. Partly because I don't know the references, I guess. Although I do lean into that sort of culture. I'm big on Disney and things like that. I don't go all in with your Comic-Con stuff. So animes, mangas, Funko Pops, all of that stuff. Not really my thing. So that probably part of it. Part of the reason why I didn't get as much out of it as I was hoping. But also I just thought there would be other things other than just, please buy our stuff. Please buy our stuff. Buy our stuff, please. Please buy our stuff. So yeah, I'm glad I've got to experience it, but it wasn't what I was expecting. And would I go again? I mean, if the ticket's free, probably. But no, we also went on the Friday, so although there were lots of people in cosplay, like the big cosplay events weren't till the weekend, which was a bit of a shame because I kind of just wanted to park me and Eloise up on like a runway and just watch all the cosplays, but we couldn't do that. But I think if you went at the weekend, you probably would have got more of it than we did. But there was some cool ones. My favourite, though, was a man that was dressed as Jim Henson, who is the creator of the Muppets, who had a Kermit the Frog puppet. I took a very bad photo, which I'll insert now, but he was my favourite cosplay. Some of the others were very clever and all of that, but again, I didn't always know who they were supposed to be. But him, I like that one a lot. So yeah, don't go to Comic-Con expecting things other than shops. So if you're prepared to go and spend lots of money and you're into that kind of stuff, probably worth it for you. As I say, there were like stages and stuff that we didn't go to, and I assume that if I had the app, I probably would have known what was going on, but I didn't have the app and I didn't know what was going on in them. There was a big queue at one point of people trying to get in somewhere, but I don't know what that was for. Possibly a ghosts Q&A, because there was a big ghost sign outside it, like to the left of it. I don't know. And I have seen that show, so that might have been fun, but again, I didn't know anything was going on. And trying to find a map of what's around as well was difficult. I found a section that was called like writer's block, and I thought, oh cool, maybe there'll be some like novels. I thought fantasy probably, but I can get myself lost in a place with novels. No. I mean, unsurprisingly, full of comics. Full of comics. which is not my thing really. So yeah, that's sort of my overall thoughts on Comic-Con. In terms of having a baby at Comic-Con, it's perfectly doable, perfectly easy, perfectly acceptable. I would say that people don't tend to acknowledge or realise that a pram might have a baby in it, so at points there was a bit of crowding around it. No, I didn't like that. Certainly coming out and the queue to get to the tube station, I don't think this man was at Comic-Con, but he basically tried to ram past us, and he was obviously, there's just a big queue, you just got to stand in it and walk it, but he was trying to cut through, and he near missed to whacking Eloise in the head with his bag. Wasn't impressed by that. And just getting around with a pram was a little bit difficult, what with the crowds and the stalls and all of that stuff. So that was awkward. In terms of facilities and changing, there are toilets everywhere that advertise baby change, but I went to one and that was downstairs. I was like, well, that's unhelpful because I can't get a pram downstairs. I did end up finding that family room, which was helpful, and that did have like bottle warmers and microwaves and things like that if you needed it. Did have a chair. I would have spent more time showing you that, but someone else came in to use the baby change station. There was also like a smaller toilet in there if you're doing like potty training or something like that. But being able to locate that one again, kind of difficult, I think. I think if you went with slightly older children, it probably would have been more like an easier thing to do. There was also the like treehouse stage family bit, which me and Eloise did sit in. We watched a bit of a magician. I did some colouring in, as you saw. And looking at the schedule that was on there, it looked like there was like storytellers and like your own kids cosplay competition thing, and so there is places for it, but again, it is not designed for children or babies. They've made allowances and where they can, places for you to do stuff with babies, but it's not designed for babies. And then lastly, sort of food options. There are places in the Excel, because that's where it was, and there are food places there, although when me and Pete looked them up on Google, they are all rated very, very badly. So we didn't eat there. We ended up finding like the food hall bit, which had lots of like stalls and stuff, and we ended up with a duck burger, which was nice, and a cookie and a brownie, which was also very nice. Prices are what you expect prices to be. There were also like that kind of stand kind of stuff at the back of most of the halls, so food options, you're not short of them, but again, they're a bit pricey, and if you are going to go for the ones in the Excel, expect that they may not be very good if Google is anything to go by. So yeah, that is our time out to Comic-Con, something I did not expect to be doing ever, but certainly not this year. If I haven't answered anything or you do have any questions, please put them in the comments below and I'll do my best to come back to you as quick as I can. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. The next video will be the rest of our time in London, so do subscribe for that one and I will see you in that video.